Hi, it's Rebecca Sullivan with Lewisville Family Counseling. We are reading Chapter 41 from Just One Thing, Developing a Buddha Brain One Simple Practice at a Time by Dr. Rick Hansen. Chapter 41 is called Be Generous. Giving to others, to the world, to oneself, is deep in our nature as human beings. When our mammalian ancestors first appeared about 200 million years ago, their capacities for bonding, emotion, and generosity were extraordinary, evolutionary breakthroughs. Unlike reptiles and fish, mammals and birds care for their young, pair bond sometimes for life, and usually form complex social groups organized around various kinds of cooperation. This takes more smarts than, say, a fish laying a swarm of eggs and swimming away from them. So in proportion to body weight, mammals and birds have bigger brains than reptiles and fish do. When primates came along about 60 million years ago, there was another jump in the brain size based on reproductive advantages of social abilities. The primate species that are most relational, that have the most complex communication, grooming, alpha-beta hierarchies, and so on, have the largest cortex in proportion to weight. Then early hominids emerged, starting to make stone tools about 2.5 million years ago. Since then, the brain has tripled in size, and much of this new cortex is devoted to interpersonal skills such as language, empathy, attachment to family and friends, romance, cooperative planning, and altruism. As the brain enlarged, a longer childhood was required in order for its growth after birth and to make good use of wonderful new capabilities. I don't know why I'm tripping over these sentences, but we're going to continue. This necessitated more help from fathers to keep children and their mothers alive during the uniquely long juvenile phase of human life, and more help from the village it takes to raise the child. The bonding and nurturing of primate mothers, in a word, their giving, gradually evolved into romantic love, fathers caring for their young, friendships, and the larger web of affiliations that join humans together. Additionally, our ancestors bred mainly with their own bands that were better at give and take of relationships and teamwork outcompeted other bands for scarce resources. So the genes that built more socially intelligent brains proliferated into the human genome. In sum, giving, broadly defined, both enabled and drove the evolution of the brain over millions of years. Consequently, we swim in a sea of generosity, of many daily acts of consideration, reciprocity, benevolence, compassion, kindness, helpfulness, warmth, appreciation, respect, patience, forbearance, and contribution. But like those proverbial fish, often don't realize we're wet. Because of the brain's negativity bias, moments of not giving, one's own resentments and selfishness, and the withholding and unkindness of others pop out with blazing headlines. Plus, modern economies can make it seem like giving and getting is largely about making money, but that part of life is just a tiny fraction of the original and still vast generosity economy, with its circular flows of freely given, unmonetized goods and services. When you express your giving nature, it feels good for you, benefits others, prompts them to be good to you in turn, and adds one more lovely thread to the great tapestry of human generosity. So how can we be more generous? Take care of yourself. Don't give in to ways that harm you or others. For example, offering a blind eye to someone's alcoholism. Keep refueling yourself. It's easier to give when your own cup runneth over, or at least you're not running on empty. Prime the pump of generosity. Be aware of things you are grateful for or glad about. Bring to mind a sense of already being full, so that you'll not feel deprived or emptied out if you give a little more. Notice that giving is natural for you. You don't need to be a saint to be a giving person. Generosity comes in many forms, including heart, time, self-control, service, food, and money. From this perspective, consider how much you already give each day, open to feeling good about yourself as a giver. Give your full attention. Stay present with others minute after minute, staying with their topic or agenda. You may not like what they say, but you could still offer a receptive ear, especially important with a child or a mate. Then, when it's your turn, the other person will likely feel better about you taking the microphone. Offer non-reactivity. Much of the time, interactions, relationships, and life altogether would be better if we did not comment on our own advice or emotional reactions to a situation. Not doing is sometimes the best gift. Be helpful. For example, volunteer for a school, give money to a good cause, or increase your own housework or childcare if your partner is doing more than you. Do your own practice. One of your best contributions to others is to raise your own level of well-being and functioning. Whatever your practice is or could grow to be, do it with a whole heart, as a daily offering to whatever you hold sacred, to your family and friends, and to the widening world. So let's all take a moment to let go of some of the negativity. There's plenty that surrounds us, and think of something that we can do this week to be generous to ourselves, which enables us to be generous to others, and try to make it a habit to do that each day. Have a great week.